Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not in my regular recording place, we're in the house. Uh, for a reason, I'd like to show you this. Wait, where did it go? There. This is my CD rack. Where? Spin. Okay, you can tell I'm not used to this. This is a big old CD rack full of CDs. And here's another one. And here's the third one. I have CDs. Um, I've been doing what's on my playlist today for the geeks not that long, but I've kind of been doing it on like my Facebook page, kind of like posting, you know, a song a day, whatever's on my shuffle list. That was an extreme close up. Had to open and shut the door because I don't trust the cat to be in here without using the room as a litter box. But here we are, back in my usual place. Don't fall over. Cool. So, what was the purpose of showing you my CD collection, doing extreme facial close-ups, and touring my through my house, which is cluttered and full of crap? Couple things I've been thinking about. That it's not necessarily to brag, not to brag at all, really, but I have a fair amount of CDs. I've got around 800. I've got over 11,000 CDs in my playlist. I'm sorry, 11,000 songs in my playlist. I have enough music that if I turned it on and hit play and let it play nonstop, it would play for around a month before it stopped, before it ran out of songs to play. I don't know the exact time or time frame. It's like 20 to 29 days, something like that. It's not a full month, the month of February. I've got a shade more than 4 full weeks of music playing nonstop. I've got enough music to start a small radio station. And again, that's not to brag. I know people that have more music than I do. I know people that have like 1,500 albums or 2,000 albums. The one thing I will brag about is that I paid for all my music. Legitimately, I went out and bought those CDs. Most people that I know who have more music than I do, they download it. They stole it off the internet, and it's just on a hard drive somewhere. They don't have the CDs. They've just burned the music onto a hard drive somewhere. They've stolen all their music. I support the artists that I like. I will buy their music. I think I've got like 3 dozen songs that I did not pay for because they don't exist to be paid for. They're out of print completely. I can't even find them on Amazon Prime Music or something. They're weird little obscure funny songs I heard on Dr. Demento years ago, and you can't get them any other way than by finding someone putting a link on YouTube or something like that. They don't exist anywhere. I would gladly pay for them if I could. So a tiny fraction of the 11,000 songs that I possess, I did not pay for. I'm proud of the fact that I paid for everything that I listen to. That is a point of pride for me because I like to support the artists. So why did I show you all that stuff? I'm a huge nerd, which may not surprise a lot of you. I wound up buying a couple of CDs as duplicates. Like I had them in my collection already, didn't realize it, and I bought them. So I, for fun, made an Excel spreadsheet I typed all the names of the albums that I have in, by artist, by album title, and by year. I have organized them by artist alphabetically and chronologically for fun, because I am a huge nerd. And then I went to each artist and pulled up their discography on the internet and made a second list of all the other albums of theirs that I don't have for fun, because I am a huge nerd. Yes, I went and did this. And I basically made a wish list of around 300 albums because having 800 albums isn't enough. Or is it? Because I've kind of gotten to the point, it's like, okay, if I buy those 300 albums, what then? I mean, yes, people introduce me to music, and I find it on my own. But like, I've got a month's worth of music. Every song I own, I'm probably not gonna. If I did that, if I stayed awake 24 hours a day and I played everything, I would hear every song that I own a dozen times a year and no more. As it stands, because I listen to music in my headphones during work and when I drive, it takes me 3 to 4 months to cycle through my playlist. Which means the songs that I have, I don't listen to more than 3 or 4 times a year. That's the stuff I already own. And at some point, how much is too much? At one point, will I basically not be able to listen to anything more than once a year? It's like, I kind of like, once I do, once I buy those couple hundred albums, 300 albums that are on my current wish list, I, I think I might have to stop, um, or purge my collection, which, believe it or not, I have done. In the last several years, I started doing that. It was actually my youngest daughter who got me to do that, because I've like, I like to share my music, obviously, but also with my daughters. My daughters have stuff, like music too. Both my daughters, their tastes are different than mine somewhat. There's some overlap, but their tastes are definitely different than mine. I've learned, found bands I like through them, but there's also stuff in my collection I like, and I've always offered it to them. It's like, hey, you want to, add this to your playlist or whatever, go for it. And my youngest daughter, Erin, she has like a Spotify playlist of like 2,000 songs, and I was like, hey, I know stuff here you like, you can upload it to your playlist whenever you want, blah blah blah. It's like, no, Dad, it's like, if I have any more songs, I won't be able to listen to them, the ones I like. I'll keep it around where it is. It's like, that's kind of when I started purging. It's like, do I actually have anything in my collection that I have just to have? I don't, and I kind of started noticing, it's like there were some songs that I would skip through. It's like, oh, if I don't like these guys enough to listen to them, if I'm going to skip over the songs, I should probably get rid of the CDs. I've got plenty. I've only got room in that third rack for another like 50 or 60 or 70 albums, somewhere in there. And I've got to buy a list of like around 300. So I'm going to have to buy a new CD rack at some point. Or purge. I will probably wind up purging a few things. Not much. I mean, I love music. There's not much in there that I'm going to skip. And if even then, most of it isn't, not that I dislike the full album. There's still a couple songs on the album that I like. I'll probably end up purging, like 8 of the 10 songs on the album, because there's 2 that I really love, and the rest of it just like, I'll skip the rest. So I probably won't purge. I'm at the point where I'm probably not going to purge any more full albums. I'm going to keep the stuff I like. But yeah, definitely there's stuff I can kind of cleanse the palate a bit. But, and going back to having too much music and how much, I listen to it, I have my playlist on shuffle, because another thing is I have too much music to actually pick anything to play. You sit and look at, like, do I want to listen to Pink Floyd or REM or Argo Speedwagon or The Cure or U2, Allman Brothers bands, AC/DC, Aerosmith, ZZ Top, Warren Zevon, Blues Brothers, Blues Traveler, Queen, Elton John. I could sit here for an hour and just list all the artists that I have. And at the end of the day, it's too much to pick from. I have too much music to listen to now, and I'm going to buy more. But I think the end is in sight. I think, I don't think I can buy much more, because if I do, I won't have time to listen to it. And in a way, that's kind of a bummer. For someone who's as passionate about music as I am, um, to realize that there's too much music to listen to is both a good thing. It's like it's awesome that there's that much good music out there to listen to. But on the other hand, kind of a bummer because there's too much music to listen to. You know, if I could live another 500 years, there still would be too much music because people keep making more music and it's all good. Well, it's not all good. There's some crap out there. And there's genres of music I don't like. I've only got like 3 rap albums. 2 of those are from white dudes. So I've only got 1 jazz album. I've got maybe 5 or 600 country albums. Well, more than that, but not much. There's more like 1, 2, 3, like 3 or 4 country artists that I like. I have their stuff, but so more than 5 or 6 albums. But most of it's just, you know, classic rock from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and whatever other weird stuff I happen to find along the way. I don't expect anyone to comment, but I would like to hear people's thoughts. So I guess I'm recording this and posting it in the faint hope that someone will have something to say to me about it. Plus, I'm an old man. I like to ramble. And if you find a subject I'm interested in, I will ramble on incessantly about it. As always, thanks for watching. If you like my video, don't imagine why you would. Why you would? I don't imagine why you would. I don't do transitional material well. Go torture yourself with my other crap. And until next time, good hunting.